Since debuting in 2016, this talented pro wrestler has quickly made a mark while building a solid reputation. Hey, PWI ranked her 67 of the top 100 singles wrestlers of 2020. It's not too bad. As a tag team combatant, she is vying for gold with her wrestling partner Kiera Hogan. They're in the finals of the Impact Wrestling Knockouts Tag Team Titles Tournament. Hey, they are tough to beat. Solid as steel. Or Steelz. Thank you, Tasha Steelz. Hey, it's Impact Wrestling's Hard to Kill pay-per-view, Saturday, January 16th, and you and Kiera Hogan face Havok and Nevaeh for the Knockouts Tag Titles. Is this the biggest match of your young career so far?
I would say that this is definitely one of the biggest matches of my career so far. We are going to become knockout tag champions. You know, crossing our fingers. We've worked hard for this, and this is what we want to do. We want to be at the top of the knockout division, and we worked hard. And yeah, this is one of the biggest matches, and we plan on doing a lot.
Tasha, have you ever worked with or against Kiera prior to Impact Wrestling, this tag team run?
Yeah, so Kiera and I, we worked together around in the Indies. We've had a match against each other. It was like a big street fight match, and we kicked each other's asses and damn near killed each other. But you know, what didn't kill us made us stronger, and because it made us stronger as tag partners. So yeah, we've known each other for a long time as well.
Yeah, that bond when you're just kicking butt, taking names, taking numbers, and then all of a sudden it's like, you know what? This would be good as a tag team too. I could work with this. She's as tough too, just like me. Did it take a while though too? It didn't seem like it took a while. Did it take some time for you and her to gel chemistry-wise when you first started tagging?
Oh no. We are naturally put together, and this couldn't come at a better time. So no, we're so just in sync with each other when it comes to our moves, when we're like doing our promos, when we're just talking. This is naturally us. Like if you just like take 10 minutes with us outside of the ring, you would know why we're just so naturally put together inside of the ring. So yeah, no, it didn't take any time at all.
Well, that's interesting too. They say that some of the best wrestling personas are from your genuine, real personalities. And it's interesting to see the two of you do very well together as a tag team, and you both seem very self-confident. How big a factor is it to be confident? Not bragging, but just have that confidence.
Oh yeah, it's pretty big. I mean, I've always, anything that I've done, I always had the confidence going in. You know, that's what helps me get through. You know, I always have to keep my head held high, because, you know, once you don't do that, that's when your opponent sees the weakness in you. You know, they see the fear in you. And I don't like to show fear. Kiera doesn't like to show fear. So, you know, we go out there and do what we can, you know. We win some, we lose some, but come hard to kill, we ain't losing at all.
What do you enjoy most about teaming with Kiera?
That we can naturally be ourselves. We just go out there and do whatever we want. You know, we don't think twice about anything. You know, it's just we'll be known that, all right, we're gonna have a match with so and so. All right, whatever. If I'm doing a one-on-one, she's hyping me up on ringside. If she's doing a one-on-one, I'm hyping her up ringside. And it's natural. That's just how we are. You know, you can't teach something like that, you know?
Are you two always working on moves? I know it's harder because of COVID, 2020 crazy, and trying just to get together to do things, but do you have time where you'll come up with an idea, or she'll come up with an idea, or not pulling back the curtain so much, but someone else will come up with an idea? Do you have time more to formulate those things, or is it really done in the ring?
Well, Kiera and I, we always like to come up with things together. So, you know, we'll call each other up and we'll have some ideas of what we want to do. And you know, when it's time to get in the ring, we go out and do it. You know, we go over it with each other first. If we like it, we'll do it. If we don't, we'll scrap it. But at the end of the day, we're always keeping in touch with each other. You know, we're not that tag team where it's just in the ring. Like I said, we're friends. So we always hang out with each other. Of course, not a lot now because of COVID, but we always stay in touch and have our phone calls and our video chats with each other. So, yeah, we like to talk about a lot of things. You know, like we're trying to be the best women's tag team ever. So this is what we need to do.
And this is a big step with the Knockouts tag team titles returning. You're in the finals. How important is tag team wrestling? And you're also a singles wrestler. And how different is tag team wrestling?
Well, this is like, since 2020, this is like my first year of doing mostly tagging. Like I said, I've been known as a singles competitor. So tagging is just as important as being a singles competitor. But this time you're able to work with someone, and if there's certain, like if you're weak or you're hurt in certain areas, they're able to, you know, be the stronger person for you, you know, and vice versa. So tagging, they both go hand in hand. Tagging and singles is just as important as each other.
Do you like one better than the other, or do you like both?
I love them both. You know, I love doing both. Like I love to, either way, you still shine. But you also kind of like with tagging, you share the spotlight. But I don't mind it at all because I have a partner that equally shares the spotlight with me. So it's one thing if you have a partner and they like to take off the spotlight, but I have a tag partner who's my friend, and at the same time we share the spotlight together, and we like to just accompany each other with that. So I don't mind. I love them both.
Well, it's interesting because we don't have to go into the whole details, Tasha, but she is a tag team champion already with another great partner, tag team wrestler, singles wrestler. What would it mean like to you to be able to win a tag team title, especially this title, the Knockouts title?
The Knockouts title has a lot of history behind it, and it has a lot of great women who've won these titles. You know, the beautiful people. You have Madison Rayne and Gail Kim. It's just Taylor Wilde and Rita. They've all set that standard of women's tag team wrestling. So with Kiera and I winning, it's not just us, our passion and our drive winning it. It's us doing it for our culture because we will be the first Afro-Latina, African-American tag champions, knockout tag champions. So it means a lot to us, you know, and we definitely want to create our own history, or I should say her story, and be able to inspire other future knockouts to come.
Herstory, good word, good term. I like that. And you mentioned about being an inspiration and being a role model to others. What type of reaction do you get on social media from those who are inspired by the both of you, for whether it is race or whether it is heritage or anything like that?
I mean, we get great reactions, especially we're different from everyone else, you know, not just like race or heritage. We're just different. You know, I'm a badass. I don't really like to follow the rules. I don't really like to listen to anybody. I do whatever I want, however I want. Kiera Hogan, she is the hottest flame. Same. She likes to do whatever she wants, however she wants. And, you know, a lot of people are like that. There's people that feel that same way and kind of felt like as if that doesn't exist in wrestling, but it does. You know, you have the men that do it. Why can't the women do it? You know, so I like to be able to set that inspiration that, you know, you go out and do whatever you want to do, and if they don't like it, oh well. But like they'll start to love it. And
you're breaking barriers, groundbreaking, the both of you, and that's important too, don't you feel?
Oh, absolutely. That's one of the main things.
Tasha Steelz is a really good pro wrestling name. So, who gets credit for it, and does it have any meaning behind it?
Oh, that's all me. Well, minus the fact the Steelz part. Like growing up, I played a lot of sports, and I did, when I ran track in high school, before I would go into practice, they allow us to go into the weight room. And in the weight room at the time would be all the football players. So I'm a big tomboy. I always like to do what the guys were doing. So I wanted to do a lot of weightlifting. So that's what I did. And eventually I built some really great arms. And I always got this nickname like, damn, you got like arms of steel, girl. Like you got nice muscles. And because I'm small at the same time, it's like you really don't see like nice definition of muscles on a girl that's like my height. I'm like 5'3". So when I got older, I was getting into wrestling. I was just like, well, yeah, I do need a name, and I don't want to have some hokey name that doesn't define me, So when I just, I definitely wanted to keep my name, and I was like, well, maybe I can use Steel, or my mother, she was just like, why don't you put a Z at the end and put Steelz? And I was just like, Tasha Steelz. That sounds kind of hot, Mom. Thank you. So it was me and a little bit of my mother at the same time who helped me create this name. But the meaning is just me. It's Tasha Steelz. I'm the Boricua badass, and you get what you see.
Tasha, Mom knows best.
Oh yeah.
Hey, what is Brick City?
Brick City is a nickname we call Newark, New Jersey, which is also called Illtown. So yeah, that's what Brick City is. Brick City is Newark, New Jersey.
Now, does it have any basketball meaning, like Shaquille O'Neal missing all those free throws, shooting bricks, or is there a different meaning?
No, it's just the bricks. It's just the bricks, and it's also called Illtown. But that's back in like the 90s, 80s when it was called. And, I was still a baby, so I really didn't want to know the meaning of it then. But it's just a place where like hip hop acts like Naughty by Nature, Queen Latifah came from. So yeah, it's just known Brick City, Illtown, North New Jersey.
Yeah, Brick City sounds better. Doesn't it sound better?
Oh, of course. It gives more hood definition to it. Brick City,
That's great. Hey, Tasha, how did you land with Impact Wrestling?
Well, for the entire 2019, I was actually making a pretty big name of myself. I think that was like my best year. And I was doing a lot of going to different places like NXT, WWE, Ring of Honor. I was doing a lot with them. I did a lot with NWA. And I actually did something with Impact in between. It was like around May of 2019. I actually did a knockout gauntlet. And going into there, I just loved the atmosphere. I loved the environment of Impact. And I was like, oh, I really want to be here. And when I went into the match, I said, I need to do something that's going to make me stand out from the rest of the girls. Like 10 to 12 of us in there. And that's what I did. I did a spot, and I had so much fire, and I did another spot, and I had more fire. And when I got to the back, I just got complimented by so many people, so many big names back there that I was like, okay, well, maybe this is good news for me. And, of course, Kiera, she's already signed there, and I was just asking her, like, hey, what do I do to get more eyes on me from the top at Impact? She was just telling me what to do, and I did that, and by the beginning of 2020, I started getting, more notice from Gail and Scott and D'Lo, and they were just like, all right, well, we'll bring you in soon. And when COVID hit, I was just like, oh yeah, well that's not going to happen anymore. And luckily, I got a phone call from Tommy Dreamer. He said, hey, I got an opportunity for you. It's not guaranteed you're going to get anything from here, but it's an opportunity, and I was not going to say no to it, even though it was the start of COVID. I still wanted to just have this opportunity because I know Impact, of course, is going to have safe protocols. So I did that. Went to the tapings for 3 days, did my thing in the tapings, and by the third day, I was offered a contract, and I just couldn't say no.
Tasha, do you remember that first one or two matches? Because that must have really impressed them too. Do you remember, was it singles or tag or what you did that time?
I had a match with Kylie Ray. That was the first thing I had, and oh my goodness, my brain. I think I just did some backstage stuff, and they actually just watched the vibes that me and Kiera, how we were just acting backstage and seeing our natural selves. That they were like, oh yeah, Tasha does definitely belong here. So I think that caught their eye as well. So yeah, I think it was just a match with Kylie Ray, like that really stood out the most because she's just so good, you know, and I'm good. So it's like it mixed well, and it helped me a lot.
Well, you're a Jersey girl. Were you a pro wrestling fan growing up?
Absolutely. I was a wrestling fan since I was like 5 years old, and you know, I'm 20-something now, so don't want to put my age out there yet.
Yeah, well, what do you mean? You're so young, please.
Yeah, I'm somewhere young around. I'm somewhere.
You don't have to say it, but you're young, please. When you get to be 40, and 50, then you can start complaining.
That's why my mother's complaining.
All right, so who were your favorites growing up, and did you get to see any live shows?
Oh, absolutely. That's what made me love it even more. My mom used to take me to a lot of live shows, Madison Square Garden, and going to Madison Square Garden was just historic in itself. So my mom used to take me to see live shows. It was just more exciting. Myself and my cousin, we would always just go with my mom, and anytime they was in town, we would go. So my favorites were definitely Ric Flair, Triple H, Eddie Guerrero, Randy Orton. Like those are like my top favorites watching. Of course, I love The Rock for his charisma and his promo skills. Of course, Stone Cold. But my top three were definitely like Triple H, Eddie Guerrero, Randy Orton. And I just loved watching them, and because they all had different styles, and you could just watch them, and they all had different personalities, and just watch them all in different ways, and yeah, they were my favorites growing up.
All tough and all with that Tasha Steelz attitude, though.
Oh yeah.
Now, you mentioned playing sports in high school. Are you a Bloomfield High School girl?
I did go to Bloomfield High School, but I ended my high school time at East Orange campus. So, yeah, I went there and I transferred to a different high school. So I went to two different high schools growing up.
Which one did you graduate from?
East Orange. I graduated from East Orange campus.
What was it like for you playing sports? You mentioned track and field. Did you do any other sports?
Yeah, I did basketball, I did softball, I did a lot of intramural sports, after school sports, just to stay active. Of course, I ran track, but of course, my main things were basketball and running track because they were just that had the best cardio that I wanted to, that helped me stay in shape. And, because I'm a big fitness girl, so basketball and running track were my faves, and I just stuck with that throughout high school. But I did everything else, just like for like hops and just to keep myself active when I wasn't in season.
Did you win any tournaments? I should say, did you make all county, all area, all state, or any of your teams do well?
My middle school basketball team, like my elementary and middle school basketball team, we were undefeated, and we got treated to Planet Hollywood. I think I'm aging myself, though, so I don't think there's no more Planet Hollywood.
Yeah, there's still a couple around. Don't worry, Tasha. There's still some around.
God.
Don't worry about that 20-something-year-old. Don't worry.
But yeah, we became undefeated, and we were treated to Planet Hollywood, and that was like the highlight because it was like, at first it was just you playing the play, but it was this time the coaches were, all right, girls, if you stay undefeated, we're gonna treat you to Planet Hollywood. And none of us never been to a Planet Hollywood ever in our lives, so we were like, hell yeah, we want to go to Planet Hollywood, and we became undefeated. Of course, going into high school, I focused more on running track and kind of put basketball as like my secondary sport. So I did win a lot of first, second place. I did like the 440. I did sprint. I did a lot just because my mom, she was very big in running track in her high school days, and she won a lot of medals and stuff like that. So I wanted to follow in her footsteps a little bit.
So you had a coach right there. You had the coach at home, and you also had the coach at school.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And she was not letting me lose for not one bit. She definitely was not letting me lose at all.
That is great. That is awesome. And that must have been, she must have been so cool, and it also must have been proud for her to see you do that.
Oh, yeah. Everybody loves Mama Steelz.
Hey, so we're going to wrap this up. A few more minutes here. I don't want to go too long for you, but so many things I could talk to you about. Hopefully we could do this again. I'm curious then, with college, did you attend college or community college or a 4-year or get a degree, or did you have aspirations of trying to play sports in college?
I had a focus that I wanted to become a professional wrestler, but I also was told in the Mama Steelz household that you had to at least have a backup plan. So I tried and I did a semester at NYU, but because of the fact that here I am, 18, 19, commuting back and forth from New Jersey to New York, it just at that age wasn't something I wanted to do. So I didn't. I actually dropped out, and I didn't finish college. But I tried to do actually culinary school because I love to cook and I love to learn how to cook international dishes. So I tried that. I did that, and I also did. I got an associate in sports and strength and conditioning in sports. So I did online classes. So I'm slowly but surely getting back into going into school. But around the time that I was supposed to go, I did it because I wanted to become a professional wrestler.
And when you went that route, you found Damian Adams and his training facility?
Absolutely. When I went the route of becoming a professional wrestler, I was training at a different school in Nutley at the time, and about 6 months in while I was there, they had a Rip Rogers seminar at the school that I was training, and Damian Adams and Deonna Purrazzo were also there with Rip because Rip is Damian's mentor. So I met all three of them, and I did a spot where after I was done with the spot, I got critiqued by Damian Adams in a way that I've never been critiqued before training at the school that I was at. And I just became so hooked because I was like, oh my God, this guy is detailing everything that I needed to do instead of just telling me one thing and then just going off. Like he took the time out to detail to me what I should be fixing, and I just love that. I love good criticism because it helps you, it makes you stronger and it makes you a better person. So after the seminar, I went up to him and I asked, I said, hey, can I come train with you? Like, do you mind? And he didn't mind at all, and I went to him in around summer 2016, and here I am, all because of Damian Adams, Team Adams training.
And what a reputation. You mentioned Deonna Purrazzo, also Karen Q, and someone by the name of Tasha Steelz. It's just really something to see how the progression is and who's coming out of there as well. And in wrapping this up, Tasha, you've had some big matches already. You faced Kelly Klein for the Ring of Honor title. You've faced Thunder Rosa for the NWA title. How have those experiences helped you? And also, have you been able to keep grounded, per se?
These women are definitely incredible. Thunder Rosa, Kelly Klein. I didn't think I would get these opportunities that I did so early in my career. These are things you really, really need to work up the ladder for. And because I was just so grounded with my training and the hard work that I put in throughout the indies and always staying busy and always wanting to do more, people recognize that and they just applauded that. And, I got an opportunity with Ring of Honor during, I believe it was a SummerSlam weekend. And, I was told, hey, listen, you're going to go against Kelly Klein at the Summer Supercard for the Women of Honor title. And we just put a story together, and the story was just so right that, I was hoping that I would walk away with the title, but, it's Kelly Klein. Kelly Klein is a tough competitor, and if you think you can just go into any ring with Kelly Klein and just think you could beat her like that, you got another thing coming. So I did that, and then when I started with NWA, my first debut was their pay-per-view Into the Fire, and it was going against their NWA Women's Champion, Thunder Rosa. And Thunder Rosa and I, we have just been trying to go at it during the Indies so much that when we did finally have this opportunity, and it's for the right time for the championship, I just couldn't hold back, and neither could she, and we just went out there and killed it. And, it made me a better person each time. And, hopefully down the line I went for a Women of Honor title, went for an NWA title. Now I need to go for a knockout title, but this is after I'm going to win my one half of my knockout tag title. So Deonna knows that the countdown is coming.
Hey, that's the thing, because you have some behind-the-scenes history with Deonna as well. How cool would it be to, when all is said and done, tag team that we see Tasha Steelz versus Deonna Purrazzo, Impact Wrestling, hopefully for the knockout singles title?
It would be a long time in the making, because there was a time where I wasn't ready to face Deonna, and I was just so new, so fresh, and I just felt like I wasn't keeping up with her because she's just so experienced, and I was just like, but it would be my practice, and being in the Indies with her, it was just my practice of like, okay, I'm going to get better, I'm going to get better, I'm going to get better, and that's what I did. And this is not the same Tasha Steelz that she knows years and years ago. This is a completely different Tasha Steelz. So this is the one that is going to be able to keep up with her, and the one that knows her the most and the best. And this will be a perfect match, but we are waiting for that time. It doesn't have to happen now. It's definitely going to happen.
Well, for now, it's winning those Impact Wrestling Knockouts tag team titles, and Saturday, it's you and Kiera Hogan. What an outstanding tag team, going against two monsters, Havok and Nevaeh, for those titles. And in closing, what would you like to say about this upcoming match and your opponents, Havok and Nevaeh, that you two know very well?
Kiera and I worked hard for this. We worked very, very hard for this, especially her. She's been with Impact for about 4 years now, and she hasn't really gotten that opportunity that she needed. And this is the time now, if anything, to prove that she should have already had the opportunity years ago. But with me coming in, it just amped it up even more. So we worked really hard, and even though Havok and Nevaeh are two strong competitors, we've beaten them twice already. And not to say that this would be a breeze for us, because I'm sure the two times that we've beaten them, it really pissed them off. And it made them like, all right, come in with a different strategy. But you can't sleep on us either, because our passion, our drive, our wanting to be the best women's tag team ever, anywhere, not just in Impact, anywhere, that you can't, you're going to have a hard time defeating. So yeah, this is our time now.
You could very well have their number, and we'll find out on Saturday. And want to thank you, Tasha Steelz. And also, if it's okay, I want to bring in Dr. Ross, because Dr. Ross, there's a big Impact Wrestling Hard to Kill virtual fan fest, and possibly Tasha's involved in that, and others. Do you have any information on that you could share?
Yeah, Jim, of course Tasha's going to be involved. If it's a fan fest, a virtual fan fest, Tasha Steelz has to be there, and she will. So I'll just turn the floor right back over to Tasha and let her talk about Celebration this Saturday, January 16th at 11 a.m. Eastern Time.
Yeah, so we had one for Slammiversary, was a success. Of course, the Boricua Badass was on the one for Slammiversary. I did my little pop-up. So now we're going to have one for Hard to Kill as well. It's this Saturday. It's 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You get to interact with all your favorite Impact stars, And, of course, you never know there are going to be some surprises as well. So you definitely need to register at impactwrestling.com. Sign up, because that's the only way you'll get to have this virtual fan fest with us, is with signing up. And, yeah, definitely the future tag team knockouts champions will be there. Fire and Flavor, Kiera Hogan, Tasha Steelz. We will be popping up at this fan fest, and I know everybody wants to see us. So yes, you guys will see us. But the only way for you to see us is if you go ahead and register on ImpactWrestling.com.
The pride of Brick City. Thank you so much, Tasha Steelz.